Good morning. Welcome back to the Dargon Gaming Squad. Today I have an unboxing and first impressions review of the Rocketbook reusable notebook. So while I go grab my box knife, why don't you grab a beverage and pull up a chair and meet me back here and we'll check it out together. Hey guys, so it's been a while since we've had a Tech Corner video. In fact, I think we've only done one so far. But the other day when I was at work, I received, sorry, my cat decided this was a good time to play. Anyway, so I was at work and we got an email about this product from Amazon, and I was immediately interested, and if you follow me on Facebook or you're in the Absolute Tabletop Facebook group, you probably saw my post asking if anybody had one of these and what they thought about them. There are several brands out there. This one got a pretty darn good review. I read a blog post and checked out a couple other things, and also the price was really low. I think this was only $31, and so for me that seemed really reasonable, and I have a couple ideas about how it can be handy. Of course it could be handy at work too, but I have some ideas about how it could be for gaming. So let's go ahead and just dig right in. I've got my box knife here. It was all I could do not to open this the minute it arrived last night, but I really thought it would be fun to open it with you guys and share it. So these particular notebooks work with a specific pen. It's these Flexion pens by Pilot. And so I did buy an extra pack of those pens, and I got them in pretty colors so that if I want to do some sketching or something, I could do that. And then here is the notebook. And the packaging here was pretty simple. It looks just like, it's packaged like any spiral mount bound notebook might be normally. So let's open this up. It also comes with one of the pens, again, the Flexion pen by Pilot. Don't think I need my knife anymore here. It looks just like I said, it looks like any other spiral notebook, so that's kind of cool. Definitely. So looking at the back card here, oh, and I think my pen's inside this box thing. There's a little box there. It says pen included. It says create, scan, erase. So the whole deal with this is you're supposed to be able to erase the pages themselves. You're also supposed, and that's with moisture. It says it's an endlessly usable reusable notebook you can use with any pen in the Pilot Flexion line. It says they look and feel like normal paper, but they're actually composed of a synthetic blend of polyester. It does take 10 to 15 seconds for your ink to dry, so you do want to keep that in mind. And then to erase it, you just wipe it with a moist paper towel and dry. Now, I did see a few comments on the product in the review section that asked about using the erasers on these pens, and the manufacturer did say that the erasers will damage the pages. So these pens seem to come with erasers standard, but you don't want to use them on your pages. So that's kind of important. And then it has, you're supposed to be able to scan these to different devices like Google Drive, Dropbox, Evernote, Slack, OneNote, etc. So you're instantly able to, it says it immediately sees your pages and files them online for you. So I'm not sure how that part works. I'm really interested to see that. I guess there's just an app built right in, and I don't know, you use your phone or something. So it has 7 symbols at the bottom of the page to make that happen. So again, here's the notebook itself. Oh, and something's fallen out of it. And let's see. All right, so right off the bat, I don't know if this will show up on camera, but there's almost a grid quality to the page. It's really, really faint, so yeah, I can't tell if the camera's picking it up. But there's really faint grid lines, so if you wanted to use this for mapping, right off the bat I'm thinking that's pretty cool. And then it has this QR code in the corner, which is how it's going to pick up the scan, and then it's got these different symbols at the bottom. And I'm not exactly sure how that part works, but let's see, I'm gonna open this up. Set up your Rocketbook symbols to create your organization symbols system. There are 7 symbols at the bottom of each page, and think of it as a subject in your notebook. For each symbol, select a cloud service and set a place inside that service. Okay, so yeah, you've got all these symbols right here. And so you use those to determine, I guess, which app you're gonna save it to, or no, I guess that's your subjects. Okay, so that makes sense. So it gives this example of using this first symbol as a journal sent to personal email, and then it lists the diamond as maybe being used for chemistry, etc., for like a student. It's got some CEO type suggestions too. So when you mark the symbol at the bottom of the page, scan that page with the app, and Rocketbook blasts those notes to the right page instantly organized for you. Oh, so that's interesting. All right, so my thought about this is, as far as gaming application goes, and why I thought this was something I really wanted to try, is that I'm thinking this would be great in a couple different ways. For one, as a party, as a group, playing in a campaign especially, you could use this to take in-game notes and instantly scan them up to a group page like a Google Drive or something, where everyone can take a look and see what notes you had, and add their own notes to it, or add their thoughts, or so by way of having a summary or something that kind of gives you an idea, this is where we left off. That's one way that I thought it would be really handy for gaming. For those who GM, I think it could be really fantastic as well for your just your initial like brainstorming notes and things for your campaigns. I know that the couple campaigns I've been thinking about doing, I've been very piecemeal. Some of you are probably much more storytellers than I am. So I'll be driving along and I'll be listening to one of my favorite podcasts, and I'll get an idea and it will strike, and I'll chew on that idea mentally all day long, thinking it over, thinking about things, fleshing it out, and when I get home, I'll make notes on it. So something like this would be really great. For one thing, it would be easy to carry around in my car if I wanted to make a note immediately. But more importantly, I can use this, I can jot down my ideas, and then I can save it online somewhere and erase the page and start all over again the next time inspiration strikes. So there's that. I think too, like for maps and stuff, I don't know about you guys, I don't sit down and immediately make a map. Sorry, that's my cat playing again. She's feeling very playful this morning. And of course she has to pick the noisy toys to play with. Anyway, I like to kind of sketch them out, and then I'll sit down on Incarnate, which is the only program I've used so far for mapping. And I don't do a lot of maps, but I'll sketch it out first, roughly on a piece of paper, kind of have an idea what I want and think it through, and then I'll go put it on, say, Incarnate. So I think for maps, that's great. And then also just for maybe notes that you're taking while you're working with a character or with a player, as they're, fleshing out their ideas for their character, and they're giving you background ideas, and you're probably getting all kinds of ideas about where you're going to go with the story. So, I think there's a lot of applications for this, and the fact that you can upload them and have them instantly saved online means that hopefully the fact that there aren't a whole lot of pages is hopefully not a huge detriment. Although that was the one criticism I did hear pretty regularly, was that people said they wanted more pages. So, you know, conversely, on top of that, I have multiple notebooks that I keep. I have, you know, one that I use for Dargon Gaming Squad notes. I have another one I keep for my campaign ideas. I have another one where I took notes for a campaign I'm in, that sort of thing. And I'm the same at work. I have all these notebooks for different things. So again, this is a way to organize those notes. Instead of having multiple notebooks, you just upload the stuff. So let's see what the tips page says. It comes with this this insert that was inside, had on one side talks about symbols, on this side it has a few tips. So it says only use it with the Frixian pens and markers. You can find replacements in different styles, etc. To prevent smudging, allow 15 seconds for the ink to dry and physically bond to the page. Make sure to erase by dampening a paper towel with water and using that to part of a paper towel. It's saying use that to wipe the page off and then use the dry part to wipe it back off, to dry it off. Only write on pages that are completely dry. Writing on a damp page doesn't work well. No surprise there. And it makes, they also have a Rocketbook Wave, which erases in your microwave oven. I really don't get the advantage of erasing in your microwave oven. If anybody has any ideas about that, insights, I'd love to hear them, because that's been kind of an odd thing to me. Anyway, so let's see what happens when I write on this page. So, all right. So one thing I will say is, there it is. It definitely wrote. It's definitely showing up and looks pretty good. I have to say, their claim that it feels like real paper, it definitely doesn't. For one thing, it doesn't feel like paper to the touch. For another thing, as you write, it does feel like you're writing on a slicker surface. You know, sometimes you'll get something that has a coating on it, and you'll try to write like a label or something on it. It feels like that. So it does have a slickness to it that could take some getting used to. So let's see, what if we were to say map this out, which by the way is another use that I thought would be really cool, is if your party is mapping their adventure. If they're taking a map, you have them in a dungeon and they're making a map as they go. This seems to me like it would be a really good way to document what they've mapped for the rest of the group to see. So this is pretty basic. I don't usually map dungeons, but you know, there's what I've got. So I'm gonna go get a paper towel and let's see how this works on the erasing end. I realized that I forgot one really important step, and that is that I didn't circle any of the symbols. So while I was waiting for the ink to dry, I did install the Rocketbook app, which is available on the Google Play Store for free. I did that, and I did set up a destination. So automatically it will set up an email destination for you. And then for each symbol, you can pick another destination if you want to. So for now, I decided to use the gem symbol as a Google Drive, with a Google Drive destination. So I did that. So I'm going to send this to Google Drive. So I'm going to circle the gem. And unfortunately, the symbols are really, really faint on here. So I don't know how well that's going to show up on camera. So I'm really sorry if you're not able to see that. But, so I did that, and so I realized that I need to scan this before I erase anything. So I'm going to do that. As taking a picture. Oh, there we go. A little. Okay, and it scanned it. I realized it turned, so my screen turned green when it scanned it, and so I think I actually scanned it a few times without realizing it. But I can see there's going to be a bit of a learning curve, and I did read the FAQ on the app when I opened it and found out that you can't do landscape pages, so that's something to think about. Although I didn't read, it did have a question posted as to whether you could rotate the pages. I'm assuming you can't rotate it within the app, but I'm betting that once you have it loaded up as a PDF to Google Drive or wherever, I don't see any reason why you wouldn't be able to rotate it then within your PDF app. So hopefully that will be something, and maybe down the road they will, as they work with this, maybe there'll be more options. And then also it does have bundling. So say you work on several things for a single adventure and you want all of those pages to go into the same file, you can bundle them and they'll go together. And so that's pretty cool. You do have to, put some thought into that and be mindful of it and set it up in advance before you scan it, because once you've scanned it, you're out of luck. So let's go ahead and erase this. I've wet one corner of the paper towel as suggested, and I'm going to just erase this title. Oh, and all right. Yeah, you know what? It's cleaning up really nicely. I'm gonna go ahead and also do the rest of the page. So yeah, it's cleaning up pretty nice. Trying to work around this second camera so that hopefully you'll be able to see what's going on when this is all done. It feels pretty good. It did smear a little bit, of course, as you're erasing it, but not nearly as bad as a lot of other things. And I'm not even seeing any faint lines. Of course, the ink hasn't been sitting for days and days and days or anything. But there we go. We've got a really clean, nice page all set to go again. And there are multiple pages in this. There's 32 pages. So you could actually, do quite a bit. So I'm going to give this another test run on Monday at work. I have to sit in on a board meeting. It's my job to take the notes, and so I'm going to try it there. And I am a little concerned there because if you're taking multiple notes and you have to turn the page, how do you do that if you're waiting for the page to dry? So I'm really curious about how that's going to work in a work environment where I'm taking a lot of notes at once. I'm interested to know if anybody gaming wise has had an issue with that. I gotta tell you, I'm already thinking about how, my categories and what kinds of things I'm wanting in as far as, using this for gaming. But I do think it's a pretty cool product. So my first impressions are overall very favorable. Like I say, I'm a little bit concerned about the drying time. If you're, really putting a lot of information down at once, it may not be the best thing. I feel like I just need to play with it a little bit and get a better feel. I'm also wondering about this pen. I'm not sure that it's the finest point. This one says is a 0.7, and I'm thinking a finer point would be a lot nicer. What are your thoughts? Have you purchased a product like this? Are you thinking about purchasing one? I have to say I'm pretty excited about it. If it turns out to be everything I'm hoping for, I might pick up a second one so I can have one at work and one here at home for this. I think for just general household use, it would be really great too, by the way. I think it'd be great for, you know, shopping lists and things like that. You probably have things that you do in lists related to your games too. So I certainly think it'd be great for Nate and I for sharing notes about upcoming videos we want to make and things of that nature. We can have bullet points. It'd be really easy to share this between each other. We already have a Dropbox folder that we use together, so it'd be easy enough to just load it right to the Dropbox folder or, you know, whatever. Same thing for our gaming group. Again, I just think there's some great applications for this. So I'm excited to play with this some more. Again, please let us know what you think in the comments below. If you like this video, don't forget to give it the thumbs up so we know to make more videos of this kind. And we really appreciate it when you subscribe and share with your friends. And until next time, get out and get gaming. Bye, guys.